Welcome to Loudon, New Hampshire, and today's running of the Sylvania 300 on this flat 1 mile oval. Darrell, who will get to hoist the lobster in victory lane today?
Good question, Mike. I tell you, this track is so slick, and the groove is very, very narrow. You've got to be patient here, but you've got to be able to use that old chrome horn, as we like to say, too.
It's interesting how this track surface will change over 300 miles. It might start out as a one-groove racetrack, but as we race on, that second groove will open up and become very important. They've got a big Maine lobster waiting for the winner. Who'll get to crack its claws?
Hello everybody, and welcome back to another race in our NASCAR 15 season here, the second race of the chase here at the New Hampshire Motor Speedway. We, of course, got the win in the last episode of Chicagoland to lock ourselves into the round of 12, and we're just trying to survive this race and the next one at Dover. Earlier this season, we struggled mightily at both tracks, so we're going to try to do better this time around here in the chase, where it all counts for points and the quest for the championships. We're green and underway here into turn 1 and 2. We qualified way back in like 24th. But now we're working here against Larson, sideways, loose off the side of the 42. Now we're getting into the side of chase contender AJ Allmendinger as we continue to battle for positioning. Got the 26 of Burton up ahead of us. Larson, as we squeeze down through at the bottom, we go way too deep in the corner, and we are going to pound the wall with Ryan Newman here in turn 1 and 2. And then Trevor Baines again to us, and he's just going to completely wipe out hard in front of us. A huge hit McMurray there, and we're still spinning into the pit wall down here. All kinds of chaos erupting here at New Hampshire early in this race. As we're still on the opening lap of racing, we just had a huge crash. See what happened here is we're just racing Trevor Baines. A little bit of contact, he just completely wipes out from him. He takes us out hard on the wall, and then Jamie McMurray gets in the air, and behind us we get T-boned by Allmendinger, Josh Wise, and Newman, and we all crash onto the pit wall there. And that brings out the first caution. We, of course, come down pit road to get repairs and make adjustments, so we start back in last place, but now we're going to try to get back at it, gain these positions back, and try to finish better than we did the previous time around when we were here in New Hampshire. I believe we finished like 36 or something. Once again, we hit that cone going into turn 1, 2. Oh, we get put hard on the wall there by Colwitt. Not the way we want to start out the lap, but just like that, we're back to square one, back down to 41st. Too aggressive ascend, in the wall we go, and the struggle bus is real right now. So now we're trying to chase back down Trevor Bain and Ryan Blaney. We set on there, all Geyer into McMurray, around he goes into the wall, and that's a caution. We're getting hit by everybody every which way, but we hang on to it and stay going in the right direction. You see, we set it way too deep in there. Clip the one of McMurray, spin him around into the wall. He goes. We go down to the 6th. Big contact. Caution comes out, and McMurray into the wall. And that brings out the caution. So now we're going to be back underway here on lap 5. It's going to be 26 to go. Can we get a green flag run going? That's a great question. We'll see. We're back here in 24th as we have been struggling to keep it green. Again, I think we clipped the cone again there going into turn 1 and 2. Oh, we got car in the wall behind us back there. It's JJ Yaley, I believe. Now we go to the outside. Michael Waltrip starting to gain some time now on the inside of chase contender Kevin Harvick. Inside the top 20 now, finally getting some good track position. We're going to give Newman a shot here going off the corner, send him way up the track into Todd Gillen and Chase Elliott. He goes. Now we're going to battle the 4 of Kevin Harvick for position, move him up out of the way, and he's contact there, battling hard for 14th. There comes Matt Kenseth, another chase contender inside. Actually, he's not a chase contender, but Kenseth to our inside. Big ball, he gets it into us, sends us sideways through the corner. We go way too deep and send him up into Harvick, into the wall. They both go into us again. He's wrecking into the wall. More contact. This time Gillen shoves us into the cone, and the cone puts us on the wall right there. I mean, what is happening right now here in New Hampshire? Absolute chaos. You got a whole bunch of guys going by. So now we just sail it off into the corner, go 5, 6 wide into Biffle. Michael Ultra into Josh Wise, and we just go right up into the wall, and we just wall ride Hail Melon. And now we're 5 wide, getting turned and hit in every which direction. Somehow no yellow here as we move on to 24 to go. We continue to beat and bang to try to get some clean and green air, and we get down way too deep and completely wipe out the 21 of Ryan Blaney, who is a chase contender, and we both crash in the outside wall. And now we get clipped there by Kenseth, who's going to send us down right into the inside wall. Big time collision, heavy damage sustained. Thank God we didn't DNF right there into that wall. But you see, we just were trying to block McMurray down low, sent him so far, sent us flying off for the 21 of Blaney. Yaley goes on the wall behind us, and it's myself and Blaney around, and then Kenseth just, for good measure, piles into us, sends us crashing down to the inside. And caution out once again. Of course, Kenneth Road repairs, fuel, tires, all that good stuff. So back underway. It's 22 to go as we try to get our first green flag run going of the day. It's been pretty much chaos so far. Jimmy Johnson, by the way, is your race leader all the way at the front of the field. This time we take a more conservative approach on the restart. But, we still get pounded in the wall right there off the bumper of Chase Elliott and Ryan Newman. Sorry, maybe Michael Annette. No, not Newman. Michael Annette. Annette is behind us. So yeah, we just had a tough turn 1 and 2 there, even though we went with the more relaxed approach there. Now we go to the inside of the 25, have to check up big time. We try to get a new approach here, be a little bit calmer. Maybe that'll get a green flag run. Maybe we start gaining positions. Keselowski now leading the race, looking to lock his spot in the next round of the chase. As we like to gain back on these guys in front of us here that we know we have more speed than them. It's just the car setup, it wasn't quite right because we weren't driving it the right way. But now we're finally getting some momentum on our side. Looking to set our personal best lap of the day. So we gained some big time right there underneath Chase Elliott. Give Michael Waltrip a bump. Now side by side with the 25 of Elliott, 4th position. We move by him. We clear the 25, 4th position. Now going chase down Austin Dillon and Michael Waltrip. We saw our personal fastest lap of the race, a 29.15. Still 2/10 off of Brad Keselowski's fastest lap of the race. As we gain some time there, working on the inside of Austin Dillon, the 39th. Big run now going by Michael Waltrip down the backstretch. There are 4 wide up there in that pack ahead of us. We send it a little bit deeper than we usually had the last couple of corners to try to get closer. We do, but we're starting to get into a rhythm here as we now work on the outside of the 26 of Jeb Burton to try to fight our way. Oh, he puts us on the wall there trying to block as we move our way to 37th there. Now we're going to send it to the inside, 5 wide going into turn 1 and 2. This isn't going to work, boys. Oh, McDowell and Danica got squeezed in the wall. We make a 4 wide pass for 34th, and just like that we cross over Yaley and are into 33rd here down the back stretch with 19 to go. We are finally moving through the field now, gaining some positions. We're just doing it slow and steady, like the tortoise in the hare. Slow and steady wins the race. As now we go right behind the 7 of Regan Smith, look to work our way up into 32nd. That's what we're going to do as we continue to charge forwards here, but not charge, just slowly but surely work our way forwards, picking the field off one by one here. Starting to work our way back up to the front of the field. We clear the 7 of Regan Smith and have to go after the 1 of Jamie McMurray, who we've had multiple collisions with in this race. And so now we try to get around him. That'll be for 31st place, which we do here on the inside. When we get to his inside there, make a little, we avoid contact narrowly. He clears us, keeps his position, but we get a nice right exit the corner and go right underneath him. Here comes the start finish line. We'll battle for 31st now with McMurray. Ahead of us, Jeff Gordon running in 30th. Not a good run for that chase contender, the 24 Jeff Gordon. Of course, a race winner cannot be running terrible right now here in the chase if he wants to make a deep run. As we clear the 1 of McMurray and move into 31st place, and have to go chase down the 24 of Jeff Gordon in that 3M Chevrolet, our Hendrick Motorsports teammate. We go after him here, coming to 16 to go, coming from the halfway point in this race. 16 to go here at New Hampshire. We are in 31st, and now we are going to move on to 15 to go now. The next lap, we pop right underneath Jeff Gordon to battle for 30th place now. We get right underneath him here, get some momentum and start working that inside. A little bit of contact, big wiggle for both of us. He goes in the wall, we save it, and we clear Jeff now for 30th place as we continue to move forwards. And they got Kurt Busch in the 41 there in front of us, running 29th as we try to gain on him. And the pressure from everyone else continues to be high. But we are working as cars coming down pit road. There's AJ Allmendinger, chase contender, and another few guys coming down pit road for scheduled green flag pit stops. We now move in the top 25 here to turn 1 2, going underneath the 78. A Truex contact, big wiggle into the side of Carl Edwards and Kurt Busch. Contact, multiple chase contenders banging into each other back here. Of course, myself, Truex, Jeff Gordon, got Casey Kane up there, Kurt Busch up here. We send it underneath 3 wide. We really ship Kurt Busch off into that corner. Use up Ryan Newman. A whole bunch of guys this time coming down pit road. We got a big wiggle, save it, continue to battle intensely for position here, just outside the top 20 in the running order right now. As we pull once again 3 wide, 3 or even 4 wide here, really using guys up. Kane in the wall. We use Kurt Busch right up into the wall, and just like that we move into the top 20, but then Biffle gets into us, bounces us off the wall. We fight back, move into 19th, now go 3 wide, almost 4 wide for 17th, and we sail it deep here into 3-4, clip Stenhouse into the wall. He goes there, he goes, losing spots. That's a chase contender. More guys coming down pit road, including Ryan Blaney, Brian Vickers, and Tony Stewart. 3 more chase contenders right there. As we now move into 13th place, wiggle Greg Biffle heading into turn 1 and 2 and try to send it to the back of the 78. Truex, give him a bump, but he wiggles up the track. We lose some momentum. This is some intense battling here. We're at mid-pack right now with a lot of chase contenders here. Carl Edwards, who just missed out, we're battling him hard for position. Here's the 5 of Casey Kane. We move by him. There's Biffle. Kenseth, we send it really deep on him, clip him up into the wall, goes Biffle. We go by the 16, more guys coming down pit road. This time we got Harvick is in the group that pitted, and we banged off the wall right there, battling Kenseth and Casey Kane. So now we're in 6th place, sailing off into turn 1 and 2. We get into the side of the 20, up into the wall he goes, and we avoid contact as we try to hang on to 5th. Casey Kane, though, gets clear. Here comes Biffle for 6th. We continue to fight. for every position as Clint Boyer now leads as his pit cycle continues to cycle out here, coming to 10 laps to go. We sail it off deep, way off past Casey Kane. Doesn't quite work. We just spot to him and Biffle, but we get a run here next to the corners. They come down pit road. We go the outside of the 5, bounce off the wall, and now take 5th place. What a move we made right there. It's just the top 4 we are chasing down now. Joey Logano included, I believe, as well as Kyle Busch, Clint Boyer, and someone else. So a lot of chase contenders up here at the front of the field right now. We're staying out longer than usual, of course, trying to stretch the fuel as long as we can here, so we have a little bit of a fresh tire advantage. There'll be 1 or 2 laps of the guys just pit, but now we come down pit road right here. Coming to 9 to go this time, we come down pit road with Matt Kenseth, Truex, Joey Logano. Coming to get repairs, 4 tires, full tank of fuel, 15-second stop. We decided to get repairs, 16-second stop. We'll take it, and then we'll get back out. We decided no. We decided to go without repairs. So straight 15 seconds in and out. Cannot afford an extra second on pit road right now with how tight the running order is. As we hit 9 laps to go, we come in for our pit stop. Pit crew going to do the job right here. Change the tires and fill her up with gas. And now we, just like that, pit stop's done. Good pit stop right there. We come out right on the 15 and Boyer. We come out basically just around the bottom end of the top 20 here. We come out of pit road, scored in 22nd, but we just like that move right by Justin Allgaier and someone else just like that. We're into the top 20. Moved by him and Michael McDowell, and now we try to go by the 32 of Bobby Labonte for 19th place, which we sailed off nice and deep here in the corner. Force him off the track a little bit and make the pass. So just like that, we are now clear for 19th place here coming down the front stretch. Got Jimmy Johnson 40 ahead of us as we officially unlap ourselves as Casey Kane comes down pit road for his scheduled pit stop. Now here comes the 18 of Kyle Busch coming out of the pit lane right there. And 16th, we're going to battle him hard for a position here. As he comes out of the pits, he will be right next to us as we barrel it off here down into 3 and 4. We send it clear of Kyle underneath the 48 of Jimmy Johnson. Wiggle him up the racetrack a little bit, trying to get underneath him. Oh, that was tight. He slides up the track. Here comes Kyle Busch, the 18, a big run through the corner. Gets around us for 16th. Now, so we cross him back over here down the front stretch, going underneath Kyle, and set it nice and deep here in the corner, right underneath Jimmy Johnson's. Push him way up the racetrack, really trying to get this position. We're going to be almost 3 wide, but we get clear for 14th place on next to the corners. We get around Jimmy Johnson. And now we try to take 13th and 27 to Paul Menard, which we do. Set it deep enough to get to the bumper of Colt Witt, but a little bit maybe too deep trying to get to his bumper. And we forfeit the spot to Paul Menard. Here comes Jimmy Johnson, another big run. We continue to be side by side now for position. Myself and Jimmy Johnson battling so hard for 14th with 6 laps to go. Brad Keselowski is the leader, looking to get his 2nd win of the season and lock his ticket in the next round of the chase, that round of 12, which has some good tracks for Keselowski, including Talladega. Now a big run down the backstretch for us. We go right around Jimmy Johnson and clear Cole Witt, moving to 12th place now through 3 and 4. A great pass right there. We slide up the racetrack, but and get the power down. And once again, myself and Jimmy Johnson together, moving our way up through the field. Us Hendrick teammates, we got something cooking right now. 12th and 13th here with just 5 laps remaining in this race. We go underneath Jimmy, try to clear him, send him up the racetrack there, and then we get a big run, but we get hit. We almost get turned by the 35 of Cole Witt. He almost wrecked us, but we saved it. Maintained 13th, but I am not happy with the 35 of Cole Witt, the way he just raced us right there. I am not having that whatsoever at all. As you continue to move down past the front straightaway here, remain 13th as we now start driving away from the 35 machine of Cole Witt. And now we move on. The next lap, 3 to go here. Coming to 2 to go, we get a big run of the 43 of Eric Almirola. Now move ourselves up into 12th place. And once again, back to chasing down the 48 of Jimmy Johnson for P11 here. In the closing laps as we try to salvage a top 10 finish at one of the tracks we struggled at earlier this season. Chase contender AJ Allmendinger comes down pit road and sacrifices so many points. That could cost him next week at Dover. That could eliminate AJ from the playoffs. He didn't have enough fuel to go the distance. So now we move into 11th because of that. And are only 1 spot outside the top 10 here with just 2 laps to go. That's what's held right now by our good buddy Jimmy Johnson, the 48. We moved up together now into the corner. We get a big run on Jimmy. Send it underneath him here. We really got to get this position. I want this top 10 bad. We move him way up the racetrack. We didn't quite get the run we wanted. So now we got to regroup here. Coming to take the white flag this time. White flag, final lap. Just my credit one bank here in New Hampshire for Brad Keselowski. About to get the win. As we looked underneath Jimmy Johnson to get this top 10. We send it underneath them, make some contact. Up into the wall goes Jimmy. and we clear Johnson for 10th, and now we start back moving forwards here, trying to get back to the 21 of Ryan Blaney for 9th here into this final corner. Last lap, we send it in real deep, and we get into the 21 of Blaney, put him in the wall, chase contender, and we're going to use him up, and we're going to move him out of the way to take 9. That's going to cost Blaney another spot to Jimmy, and back to the line. Keselowski wins, and we bring home a top 10 in 9th. A very solid finish here in New Hampshire. We'll definitely take it. The way this race started out, where we were running, we will definitely take a top 10 finish after we finished outside the top 30 earlier this season. We recovered, get a top 10 in the chase. These are the kind of finishes that are championship caliber. Of course, Brad Keselowski dominates, leads 18 laps, gets the win. Tony Stewart, chase contender, your runner-up. Kyle Larson, Trevor Bayne, 3rd and 4th. And the next chase contender is Clint Boyer in 5th with a great finish. Then Denny Hamlin, another chase driver, in 6th. Harvick, Vickers, myself, and Jimmy Johnson, another couple chase contenders inside the top 10. Blaney, 11th. Kyle Busch in 13th. Stenhouse in 14th. Logano in 15th. Then you got to go down to see Casey Kane in 23rd. Truex down in 24th. Jeff Gordon, 27th. Kurt Busch down in 28th. Some chase contenders really struggling late in the going. Of course, you got to go all the way down to find AJ Allmendinger finishes 42nd after pitting from what was going to be a top 10 finish for him. Not the way he wanted his day to end, but Keselowski dominates and wins here at New Hampshire. And we recover the nice top 10. Now you see the updated chase standings. Of course, myself, Brad Keselowski, both top of the board, locked in with our 2 wins into the round of 12. And then Tony Stewart looking very comfortable on points right now, as well as Clint Boyer, Jimmy Johnson. Yeah, Kevin Harvick up here in the points. Joey Logano, Denny Hamlin, Ryan Blaney right around that cut line area. Then Ricky Stenhouse as well. Casey Kane has actually scored lower because a little bit of a points glitch. He's above Brian Vickers and Kyle Busch. So right now the cut line would be at Vickers over Kyle Busch tied. And then Truex also tied. And then Jeff Gordon minus 16 and AJ Allmendinger minus 24. So until the next episode, we will have the round of 16 cutoff race at Dover. I hope you all have a good one.